It is time for the main event as Reps Ahead Pro 4 presented by Renovo, the official healthcare provider of TYR Wodapalooza, continues here in Huntington Beach, California. I'm Sean Woodland with Brian Friend. Two games veterans set to go head to head. PC the MC has the intros.
Weighing 210 pounds, repping launch mode CrossFit and Brute, the 2024 CrossFit Games champion, James, you got Sprague! 2 minutes, athlete.
Sprague and Hopper. I don't know what you gave Patrick before this, but we need some of that in the booth.
He puts on the shades, he turns the head around, he turns into a different guy out there.
Let's talk about what is at hand in case you missed the opening matchup between Hummerghouse and Bennett. 3 rounds, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off of Everett.
12 toes to bar, 8 box jump overs, 30 inches for the guys tonight, 4 squat snatches at 155. Cycle through it as many times as you can, and if at any point you're able to get 12 reps ahead, you knock out the opponent.
We have 2 athletes that are very familiar with the spotlight, but only one of them has been in this format before. That is James Sprague. Jayson Hopper, new to the Reps Ahead format.
Absolutely. James Sprague has been at all 4 pro matches now. He's 2-1. He beat Tyler Eggemon in the first one. He beat Nick Matthew in the third one. His only loss came against these 2 guys, good buddy Dallin Pepper, and that one went really right down to the wire anyway.
We'll see if Jayson Hopper can put another blemish on James Sprague's record here.
30 seconds.
Had a lot of opportunity to talk to both of these guys this weekend, and there's friendly banter and back and forth, but in a second you're about to see the game face to switch on. Neither of these guys came here to lose tonight.
Are you ready to burn it down? 10 seconds. 9, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
First round underway. Sprague versus Hopper. We had a second round knockout in our opening card as Malachi Bennett could not catch up to Riley Hummerghouse late in round number 2. Hummerghouse 12 reps ahead to end that match.
Yeah, and these 2 guys, I don't think that we're going to see the deliberation on the barbell that we saw with Malachi and Riley. Both of these guys are probably going to be going touch and go from the start on those squat snatches, and both of them also choosing to rebound those box jumps. As we told them, they have the option there, and clearly there is the potential to make up some time if the other guy chooses not to.
Dead even as the 2 get to the barbell at the same time. 4 squat snatches at 155, and Sprague choosing to go touch and go. On the left side of your screen, Hopper dropping the bar each time, and Sprague's going to make his way back to the pull-up bar. Hopper right behind him.
Caught me off guard there. I thought they'd both go for it. Jayson not really taking his hands off the bar, but just that little grip reprieve. And the longer this match goes, the more that could potentially play in his favor.
James Sprague now with had a 2-rep lead. Now that has disappeared as Hopper continues to work as Sprague takes a break. So 3 minutes in this first round, then a 1-minute break. Hopper off first just ahead of Sprague, and he will get right to work now on those 8 box jump overs at 30 inches.
As far as the 2 athletes go, in the run-up to this, they were talking a lot about a specific workout from the games, the Dickey's triplet, that they thought would kind of parallel the feeling that they'd have on this competition floor. Well, they were first and second on that one.
Sprague and Hopper back to the barbell for the second time here in round 1. And Sprague's going to go touch and go again. Hopper choosing to just resituate his grip.
And the time that Jayson gave away by doing this in the first interval of the sequence was made up because James took a break on the toes to bar and Jayson didn't. I know Jayson prides himself on being amongst the best in the world when it comes to toes to bar, and his grip endurance is right up there as well.
And that lead that Sprague built is tenuous at best now as he's back on the pull-up bar for the 12 toes to bar. 45 seconds now left to go in round 1.
And I'm hopefully you guys got to see the first match, because even as close as it is right now, we just got to see, thanks to Riley and Malachi, that one little decision here or there could end up swinging this thing from being neck and neck to over in a matter of 30 seconds.
Well, Jayson Hopper had his first lead now of the first round.
And in that first match, we talked about once you get past that 215, 220 mark, the totality of the work hits you a little bit. And we saw, not that they were really stepping off the box or anything like that, but the cycle rate was a little bit slower the third time on the box jump over.
Sprague continuing to go touch and go. Hopper using the same approach that he has used here in this first round. And now in the final couple of seconds, looks like Sprague is going to get 2 reps up on Hopper heading into round number 2.
And that looked eerily similar to the first round of the first match, even coming down to the lanes that they're in, where Bennett was lagging behind, pulled 1 rep ahead at the end. Sprague played the same card against Jayson, rushed to the pull-up bar, and he'll have a small advantage heading into round 2.
And you do take that lead that you built into the next round. You do not reset the score here. So right now it's James Sprague with a 2-rep lead on Jayson Hopper.
If you're just watching rep set for the first time, James will carry that 2-rep lead into this round. Both athletes will start back at the top of the sequence. So even though he's done those 2 toes to bar, he'll still have to do 12 in the opening interval.
Final seconds here in the first rest interval.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Round 2 underway. James Sprague with just a 2-rep lead on Jayson Hopper. 12 is the number you need to get ahead of your opponent in order to end the match.
3 movements here in the sequence and 3 critical things that we'll be looking for in this second round is the fatigue section. Will Sprague continue to break on the toes to bar? Will Jayson at some point cycle those squat snatches faster? And who's able to maintain the faster cycle rate on the box jump overs?
Well, Jayson Hopper starting to cut into James' lead. Now James has it back up to 2. It's been the biggest lead so far that we've seen. Now both men to the barbell for the 4 squat snatches at 155 pounds. Hopper getting to work just before Sprague.
Touch and go again.
We have some pretty good history on these athletes, and if you were just isolating the movements, Jayson would hold an advantage in his career on the toes to bar. James has a slight advantage when it comes to box jump overs and squat snatches in workouts throughout their competitive careers.
1 minute down.
2 minutes remain in round number 2. James Sprague now up to 3 reps ahead of Jayson Hopper. But as you said, Brian, James has been taking a break on this portion of the event. Does it again.
Taking a break.
Yeah, the
Hopper
first
has a chance to erase that deficit, and he does.
The first set he holds on, but the second and third sets in the first round he broke, and we see him break here again.
Now
and
Hopper has a chance to open up a lead.
Jayson rushing to that box, and I like to see that. Just when you see a little bit of a crack, that's when you can kind of assert your dominance. In this sport in general, fitness, these athletes are very aware of what each other are doing. And when you see someone with a little burst of energy, if you don't feel like you have that, that can add a little mental layer of defeat.
Jayson Hopper is about a rep ahead of James Sprague as he got to the barbell first. And now Sprague breaking on the barbell for the first time. Hopper's done. Less than a minute to go here in round number 2.
Jayson should be able to close the deficit here, especially if James comes off this bar. Jayson should have an advantage going into the third round.
And now Hopper has put himself in front. Came into this round with a 2-rep deficit and has now made that up. 12 reps here on the toes to bar. Another break for Sprague. Hopper continuing to work, and he will now move to the box, and this is where Humringhouse was able to score the knockout on Malachi Bennett.
It's almost the exact second that Humringhouse knocked him out, and it's the opportunity for Jayson to get a lead that he might need going into this final interval.
Hopper to the barbell. Now Sprague continues to break. Round is over. And James Sprague had a 2-rep lead after round 1. That is now down to a 1-rep lead as we have another minute break. And then we'll start the third and final round. This one looks like it might come down to the distance.
It may go the distance, it may go to decision, but another good opportunity for first-time watchers of reps ahead to see what can happen there. You might be looking, why is Jayson behind? He beat James on that round. He beat him by 1 squat snatch, but he had a 2-rep deficit to start. So over total reps, James still has a minor lead.
25 seconds.
James Sprague in his 4th reps ahead match, record of 2-1. First time we've seen Jayson Hopper here in this format. 10 seconds remain before we start the 3rd and final round.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Round 3 underway. See if James Sprague can hang on.
They just gotta hold on for 3.
And now there's nothing else to lose. Like, you know, you don't have to game it so much anymore. You know it's 1 rep, you know it's 3 minutes, and it's going to be over either way. So those little nuances that we've seen throughout, the breaks, the touch and go or not, cycling the box jumps faster, this is where you kind of throw caution to the wind.
And now Jayson Hopper has pulled even with Sprague. And now Hopper trying to build a lead of his own, but Sprague is picking up the pace on those box jump overs. You are allowed to rebound these in the reps ahead format.
And that proficiency on toes to bar and with the grip endurance that we talked about, the known commodity of Jayson Hopper has proven to be the case so far. He has not broken on those toes to bar, and if they get to the toes to bar at the end of this, that might be the opportunity that he needs to, you know, reduce that 1 rep deficit.
Sprague just clinging now to a 2-rep lead as he gets done with that set of 4 ahead of Hopper. Sprague's going to be to the pull-up bar first here as there's 2 minutes remaining in round number 3.
I feel like every time I think that Jayson's going to make the move, James responds. He went for a faster set of touch-and-go snatches there than he had in the entirety of the 2nd round of this match.
And now a break for Sprague, and Hopper puts himself in the lead by 2 reps. Another break for Sprague. This could be the opening that Hopper needs as he gets to the box jump overs.
Well, for Jayson now, he's got to ask himself the question, am I going for a knockout or am I going for the win? And he's being a first-time a rookie athlete here at Reps Ahead. We'll see how well he manages the situation.
1-rep lead now for Jayson Hopper. Remember, Sprague came in with a 1-rep lead to this round. Hopper to the barbell first. 4 reps here at 155 on the squat snatch.
And James went back to that really fast cycle rate on the rebounding box jumps to try to hang close to Jayson, and he's holding onto the bar again.
Now touch and go for James Sprague as he tries to get the win here in the final minute of the final round. Back to the pull-up bar for 12 more. Hopper is going to go right to the pull-up bar. Sprague takes a break to chalk, and now we are dead even again.
I definitely would have lost the bet if you told me that someone was going to chalk right there.
And now a break for Sprague. Hopper building his lead, the biggest one we've seen for him so far. He's up to 4. Another break for Sprague. Less than 30 remains. Hopper to the box.
Jayson Hopper's toes to bar have been incredible throughout this match.
Jayson Hopper now with 20 seconds. Might not have enough time to score the knockout, but if he keeps this pace, he could win the match. Here comes Sprague. Sprague has been faster on this portion of the event. Hopper to the barbell. And it's going to wind up as a tie. Remember, Sprague had the lead coming into the final round. Dead even between Jayson Hopper and James Sprague.
Well, and this is what I was talking about. I don't think that Jayson remembered that he was 1 rep behind to start the round. He did the 1 squat snatch thinking that would be enough. And I mean, we should also mention, these guys are spent. This is a very nasty sequence. Phil spent a lot of time testing it, and he knew that it would be physically demanding. So the lack of awareness there at the end is understandable from a fatigue perspective, but also from being a rookie in this format.
9 minutes of work was not enough to decide it as Jayson Hopper and James Sprague wind up in a tie here in the main event of Reps Ahead Pro 4.
The whole run-up to this, everyone's been asking me for a pick. You didn't actually ask me on the air, and I didn't know who to pick because James's experience and proficiency in this format is very good. His fitness clearly is as good as it's ever been. But this is a good combination of movements for Jayson, and man, after 9 minutes and 3 rounds, I cannot believe that.
Let's take a look back, and it was right here on the pull-up bar, as you mentioned. Jayson Hopper's proficiency on the toes to bar are what kept him in this, because Sprague kept breaking on that portion of the match.
And the stats that Barkley provided ended up holding true in terms of the way this played out. James on paper should have had an advantage on the box and the barbell. Jayson should have had the biggest advantage on the toes to bar. And here we go.
Let's go down to the floor. Bella Martin right now with James Sprague as Jayson Hopper's trying to appeal to the crowd to get himself the win.
I'm down here with James. The only person to ever beat James in reps ahead is Dallin Pepper, and you've just made it a tie with Jayson. Jayson's trying to get the crowd vote here. We weren't going to get a knockout in this one. It came down to the toe to bar.
We have a decision.
According to Phil, Jayson came off the box first, which means Jayson Hopper is now joining Dallin as the only athlete to beat James Sprague. Real-time results. We'll give him his minute.
Get you over here. Come on. You gotta talk to Bella. Bella's got a couple questions for you, J-Hop.
There we go.
Fans come first. Fans come first.
Fans come first. Were we going for a knockout or were we going for a win in this third and final round of the sequence?
Honestly, I was trying to play defense and let the champ throw the punches and kind of dodge. And he's been in Hawaii. He just won the games. He just got married. It's the last thing he's thinking about is beating me, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about is beating him.
Well, that's interesting. I heard you were thinking about you were losing. I heard James was the calm one going into this one.
He was. I get nervous for everything. I hate losing. I'm a competitor at heart. So if we're rolling dice, I'm nervous about it.
You're a competitor at heart. Now, who do you want to go in the next reps ahead? Now that you're the champion, who's going to make it that reigning champion? You go against Dallin?
I want everybody on the podium.
You heard it here first. Jayson Hopper, winner of reps ahead number 4, wanting everyone on the podium. All right, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Jayson Hopper by decision.
Yeah, it's the 4th reps ahead match. As far as I know, that's the first pro match that's come down to a tie. Phil saying decision goes to Jayson for coming off the box first there at the end. And I think that, he earned it. And I think that he executed his game plan well. He said he was playing defense. He watched what James was doing. And even though it was his first appearance out here, I think he managed this scenario like a veteran.
And we will have 2 more reps ahead matches tomorrow from TYR Wodapalooza SoCal. Coming up next, TYR Cup action continues. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for Reps Ahead Pro 4. We'll see you in a few minutes. Team North America taking on the world on day 2 of the TYR Cup.